Imagine this. You're relaxing on a quiet day when suddenly your dog starts pacing anxiously. Your cat hides under the bed and the birds outside vanish from view. Just hours later, an earthquake shakes the ground or a massive storm hits. Coincidence, or is something bigger at play? In this episode of Mega Fact Attack, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of animal instincts. Can animals really detect natural disasters before they strike? And if so, how? Tales of animals predicting disasters go back centuries. In 373 BC, Greek historians noted that rats, snakes, and weasels fled the city of Helike days before it was destroyed by an earthquake and tsunami. More recently, before the devastating 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, reports emerged of elephants in Sri Lanka fleeing to higher ground, dogs refusing to go outside, and flamingos abandoning low-lying nesting grounds. Similar stories appear around earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and even hurricanes. Dogs bark frantically, cats hide, and zoo animals suddenly stop eating or pace nervously. But anecdotes alone aren't enough, so the question is, what is really happening? Let's start with earthquakes. Unlike hurricanes or floods, earthquakes strike without warning, making the idea of animal premonition particularly intriguing. While humans only feel the stronger seismic waves that shake the ground, animals may be able to detect the subtler P waves that arrive seconds earlier. These preliminary waves move faster but are less intense, and they're often imperceptible to humans. Many animals have more sensitive hearing and greater ability to detect vibrations through their feet and bodies. For example, dogs and cats might pick up low-frequency sounds or tremors we can't. Underground animals like moles or snakes are even more attuned to subtle ground shifts. A 2011 study in Japan found that some dogs and cats exhibited anxious behavior, like barking, running in circles, or hiding, just before the Tohoku earthquake struck. The change in their behavior occurred minutes to hours before the event, lending weight to the idea that they sensed something unusual. Still, skeptics argue that animals may simply be reacting to smaller foreshocks that humans overlook, or to changes in electromagnetic fields, which leads us to the next theory. One popular hypothesis is that animals detect subtle changes in the Earth's electromagnetic field before a natural disaster. Prior to some earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, the stress on the rocks underground can release charged particles into the air. These ions could alter the atmosphere in ways animals can perceive, perhaps through their sensitive whiskers, feathers, or even their internal navigation systems. Birds, for example, rely on Earth's magnetic field to migrate. If that field suddenly shifts, even slightly, it could disrupt their behavior dramatically. Homing pigeons have been known to fly off course or refuse to leave their coops in the hours before seismic activity, possibly because their internal compass is thrown off. This idea is still being explored and the evidence is mixed. But if true, it would mean animals aren't just feeling physical tremors, they're detecting a completely different kind of invisible disturbance. Humans have decent senses, but compared to animals, we're practically walking blindfolds. Many animals possess higher sensitive hearing and an acute sense of smell that could clue them into danger. For instance, dogs can hear frequencies up to 65,000 Hz, while we cap out at 20,000 Hz. Some of the noises created by shifting rocks, crumbling earth, or approaching storms might be well within their auditory range, but completely out of ours. There's also the possibility that animals smell disaster. Before earthquakes, underground gases like ozone and sulfur may be released. Dogs, known for their incredible olfactory skills, might detect these changes before anything shakes. Similarly, sharks are believed to detect changes in barometric pressure using special sensory organs, allowing them to swim deeper or change locations before the storm hits. Perhaps the most dramatic examples of animal instincts come from tsunamis and floods. In 2004, reports surfaced of elephants in Thailand breaking free from their chains and racing inland, hours before a deadly tsunami struck. Similarly, accounts from the 2004 disaster noted an unusual absence of animal carcasses in areas where thousands of humans perished. So, how did they know? Unlike earthquakes, tsunamis are caused by underwater disturbances, and they travel across the ocean silently and invisibly until they hit. But the approaching wave does create subtle cues, vibrations, low-frequency sounds, and a sudden drop in pressure. Elephants have sensitive feet that pick up seismic vibrations, and their low-frequency hearing can detect rumbles miles away. Other animals, such as deer, flamingos, and even monkeys, have shown similar instincts. It's as if they sense the imbalance in nature and act swiftly, while humans are often caught unaware. Volcanic eruptions offer another intriguing test case. As magma rises and pressure builds, the ground swells, gas is released, and small earthquakes may occur, all before the eruption itself. In theory, animals living near volcanoes could pick up on these cues long before the lava flows. In 2010, before Indonesia's Mount Merapi erupted, villagers reported unusual behavior among livestock. Buffalo refused to move, dogs whined constantly, and birds left the area entirely. Again, it's possible they were responding to gases, tremors, or even changes in temperature. Scientists now monitor animal behavior in volcanic zones alongside other data to assess eruption risk. While not foolproof, it adds another piece to the puzzle. Here's the million-dollar question. Could we use animal behavior as a reliable early warning system? The short answer, not yet. While patterns do emerge, animal responses can be inconsistent. One dog might panic hours before a quake, while another sleeps through it. Environmental distractions, daily routines, and individual sensitivity make it hard to draw solid conclusions. However, scientists are still investigating the potential. Some researchers in China and Japan are experimenting with monitoring farm animals, zoo creatures, and even wild animals using sensors, cameras, and AI. The goal? To see if spikes in abnormal behavior could correspond with seismic activity, and maybe give us a heads up when our instruments don't. So far, the data is promising, but not conclusive. Nature is still far better at being mysterious than predictable. Did you like this video? Hit that like button, subscribe for more mind-blowing facts, and let us know in the comments. Have you ever seen an animal act strange before a storm or earthquake? We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, stay curious, stay alert, and never underestimate the instincts of the animal kingdom.